Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How are you, my dear beautiful girls of grade 5? Inshallah, now I'm going to explain and focus on the model answers for the final revision sheet for the final exams. And I wish you the best of luck, inshallah. May Allah help you, and I hope that you will get the best marks. Bismillah. The first questions are about lessons 1 and 2. In lesson 1, we talked about working with sources, and lesson 2, we talked about the Middle East countries. Sentence 1, of course, you know that evidence is a source of information about the past. 2, the social scientists who study evidence to work out how people lived in the past are called archaeologists. Archaeologists are the people or the scientists who usually try to find evidence. This evidence, by the way, can be old things, old maps, old bones, old clothes, old books, anything that the people who lived in the past left behind after they passed away. When we find it, it can give us information about the past. And that is why we call it a source of information. The people or the scientists who try to find these evidence all the time and study them, they are called archaeologists. For example, the Rosetta Stone helped archaeologists learn about life in ancient Egypt, and that's why Rosetta Stone is a very important evidence or a source of information. The scale is a relation between distances on maps and real life distances. Boundary or border is the edge of a country. Neighboring states share borders because they are like neighbors. They share the same border. It means that only one line or one border separate them from each other, and that's why they are neighboring states. What are the largest three countries and the smallest three countries in the Middle East? Of course, we studied that the largest ones are Saudi Arabia, Iran, and Egypt, and the smallest ones are Qatar, Lebanon, and Bahrain. 2. How many languages are there on the Rosetta Stone? They are 3 languages. And we saw pictures for it during the PCR classes. You can see that it's a stone with the same text recorded or carved on it in 3 old languages. The first one, it's in the hieroglyphic writing. The second one in the Demotic language, and the Demotic language is also a very ancient language that was used at the same time during the ancient Egyptians. And the third one is the Latin or the Old Greek language. Because scientists still use Latin and know Latin, with the help of the Latin writing, they could translate the ancient hieroglyphic writing, and in this way they could translate all the texts carved on the tombs and the temples, the walls of the temples of the ancient Egyptians. And that's how the Rosetta Stone helped to know about life in ancient Egypt. So there are 3 languages: the hieroglyphics, the Demotic, and the Greek, the Old Greek, Old Latin language. What is the difference between oral and visual sources of information? We said that the oral sources can be heard, like people's stories, but the visual sources can be seen, like photos and paintings. 4. Which sea is west of Saudi Arabia? Of course, you know it's the Red Sea. 5. Which country is south of Saudi Arabia? It's Yemen. Now, let us go for the choose the right question. 1. Artifacts. Artifacts are the things that people make or build. Old artifacts are evidence. Photos are visual sources of information because they can be seen. People's stories are oral sources of information because they can be heard, and people say them orally. The Middle East includes all the countries in the Arabian Peninsula, not the Arabian Desert. Of course, you know the Arabian Peninsula now has 7 countries. They are Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Qatar, Emirates, Bahrain, Oman, and Yemen. So all these countries are in the Middle East. They are countries in the Arabian Peninsula. Like this, we finished answering the questions about lesson 1 and lesson 2. Now let's go for lessons 3 and 4. In lesson 3, we studied about our natural landscape and climate, and in lesson 4, people and places. Let us discuss this. The number of people living in a place it's the population of this place. How people are spread out in a region or in a place, this is the population distribution. Tells us the number of people per unit of land area, this is population density. We usually say how many people live in 1 square kilometer. the number of people who live in 1 square kilometer or per each 1 square kilometer. This is the population density. Urban life is life in the city, and urban areas are cities or towns. Rural life is life in the farming areas or in the countryside, and rural areas are the countryside or the farming areas. And of course, you know that most people in the Middle East live in urban areas. What about the capitals? Of course, you have a page that has a map with the capital cities of the countries of the Middle East. You should study them, but the most importantly are these. Khartoum is the capital of Sudan. Riyadh is the capital of Saudi Arabia. Cairo is the capital city of Egypt. Sana'a is the capital of Yemen, and Amman is the capital of Jordan. Of course, you know that in the past, people settled where they could find water, but today we have different reasons. Like what? For example, Mecca and Medina have settlements because they are religious centers. Jeddah is a big settlement because it's an important trading port. Abha and Al-Ihsa are important settlements because they are around fertile oases in the desert. Ras al-Nur and Al-Khubar because of oil. So here we have so many reasons can you see. But in the past, the only reason where people settled where people could settle was to find water. Okay, let's go here. Question 1, true or false? The Middle East covers an area of more than 9 million square kilometers. False. It's only more than 8 million, not 9 million. Political maps show countries with their borders and capitals. Yes, true. Physical maps show landforms like mountains and deserts. True. When we wanted to see and watch the physical features of land, we should look at physical maps. Landforms and sources of water do not affect our life. No, because they really affect. Much of the Middle East is classified as green plains. False, because much of the Middle East is desert. It's very important to conserve our water sources. Yes, true. Choose. Population is the number of people living in a place. Population distribution is the way people are spread out in a region. Most places in the Middle East are desert, as we said before. The first people in the Middle East settled where they could find water. Most people in the Middle East live in urban areas. This is false, girls. Most people in the Middle East live in urban areas. Political maps show countries and their borders. Next. 1. Natural resources can be made by people. Yeah, false. Natural resources are found in the environment. True. People use natural resources to make things and meet their needs. True. We get oil and minerals from earth by digging and mining. Yes. We use coal to make gasoline for cars. False. We use oil to do that. Water is a non-renewable resource. False. The last page. Renewable resources can be replaced. True. We shouldn't take care of our resources. False. More than half of the world's oil is found in the Middle East. True. 1. Polluted water is unfit to drink and use. For cooking and heating, people use natural gas. Yes. 3. Coal and oil are non-renewable resources. Renewable resources can be replaced. Non-renewable resources will be used up. Renewable or non-renewable are finite. The non-renewable are finite. This question, you can go back to the activity book about lesson 5 to get the 20 natural resources found in the Middle East. Goodbye till we meet again.